Today, I want to discuss one of New York State's most significant correctional institutions, Sullivan Correctional Facility, located in Fallsburg, New York. This facility plays a crucial role in the state's correctional system, especially in managing long-term and violent inmates. Understanding the purpose, structure, and challenges of such facilities is important for both public awareness and criminal justice studies. Sullivan Correctional Facility is classified as a maximum security institution, a designation that signifies its critical role in the management of high-risk and potentially dangerous inmates. Maximum security prisons are not ordinary correctional facilities. They are designed to contain individuals who have committed serious violent crimes or who, due to their behavior or history, require intensive supervision and control. At Sullivan, this classification shapes every aspect of daily operations, from the design of the physical facility to the protocols used by correctional staff. One of the defining features of maximum security at Sullivan is the structural design of the prison itself. The facility is equipped with reinforced concrete walls, secure fencing with multiple layers, and controlled entry and exit points. These physical barriers are complemented by modern surveillance systems, including CCTV cameras, motion sensors, and electronically monitored doors and gates. Every movement within the prison is closely observed, and inmates' access to certain areas is strictly regulated. This ensures that opportunities for escape, violence, or unauthorized gatherings are minimized, allowing the facility to maintain a stable and controlled environment even with a population of high-risk offenders. Another critical element of maximum security is the daily management and routine of inmates. In a facility like Sullivan, routines are meticulously planned and enforced. Inmates follow a strict schedule that dictates when they eat, work, participate in educational programs, exercise, or receive medical attention. This structured routine is not arbitrary. It is designed to reduce the likelihood of conflicts, maintain order, and prevent incidents of violence. Highly disciplined schedules also serve a psychological purpose, providing inmates with a sense of predictability and control over their day, which can reduce tension and aggression in an environment where emotions can often run high. The presence of highly trained correctional staff is equally essential to maintaining maximum security. Officers at Sullivan receive specialized training to handle the unique challenges posed by violent and long-term inmates. They are trained in crisis intervention, conflict de-escalation techniques, and emergency response protocols. Their work involves constant vigilance, as they must anticipate potential threats and respond swiftly to maintain order. Staff members must also balance firmness with fairness, ensuring that security measures do not unnecessarily provoke inmates or create additional tensions. This professional expertise is one of the cornerstones of maximum security, as human vigilance is just as important as the physical infrastructure in preventing incidents within the facility. In addition to these measures, Sullivan Correctional Facility employs a tiered system of inmate classification to determine the level of supervision required for each individual. Inmates are assessed based on the nature of their crimes, behavior within the facility, and potential risk to others. Those deemed extremely high risk may be placed in more restrictive housing units, with limited interaction with the general population, while those who demonstrate better behavior and adaptability may have slightly more freedoms. This classification system is dynamic, allowing the facility to adjust security levels according to the evolving behavior of inmates. It is an essential tool in preventing violent incidents and maintaining a controlled environment. Maximum security also extends to protocols for movement and activities. Inmates are escorted by officers when moving from one area to another, whether for medical visits, recreation, or programs. These escorts reduce the risk of conflict or escape and ensure that inmates remain accountable for their actions at all times. Recreation areas, though available, are carefully monitored, and interactions are limited to minimize opportunities for disputes or coordinated misconduct. Even educational or vocational programs operate under strict supervision, balancing the need for rehabilitation with the uncompromising requirement for security. The psychological aspect of maximum security is often overlooked but equally significant. Housing high-risk individuals requires constant attention to behavioral patterns, mental health concerns, and potential triggers for aggression. Staff at Sullivan are trained to identify early warning signs of conflict, intervene appropriately, and prevent situations from escalating into violence. This proactive approach, combined with strict security measures, creates a controlled yet responsive environment capable of managing inmates who, in other circumstances, might pose a threat to themselves, fellow inmates, or staff. Finally, maximum security at Sullivan Correctional Facility reflects a broader philosophy, the recognition that certain offenders require a level of containment that goes beyond ordinary correctional measures. It is not solely about punishment. It is about ensuring safety, stability, and predictability in an environment with individuals who have a demonstrated capacity for violence. Every aspect of the facility, from its physical architecture to staff training and inmate routines, is oriented toward this goal. By implementing these measures rigorously, Sullivan maintains its reputation as a secure, controlled environment where even the most dangerous inmates are managed effectively, ensuring the safety of all within and outside the prison walls. Sullivan Correctional Facility is not only a maximum security institution but also a facility specifically equipped to house long-term inmates, many of whom are serving decades-long sentences. These inmates present unique challenges and require a carefully structured environment that balances security, management, and opportunities for personal growth. Long-term incarceration is inherently complex, as the extended duration of confinement can affect inmates psychologically, socially, and behaviorally, making the role of the prison both critical and demanding. One of the primary considerations in housing long-term inmates is the maintenance of stability over time. Inmates serving long sentences often face challenges such as frustration, hopelessness, and sometimes violent behavior stemming from the monotony and stress of extended confinement. Sullivan Correctional Facility addresses these challenges through a combination of structured routines, targeted programs, and close monitoring. A highly regimented daily schedule, covering meals, work, education, recreation, and counseling, provides inmates with a sense of predictability and order, which is essential for reducing tension and maintaining a manageable environment. Long-term incarceration also requires a focus on behavioral management and rehabilitation. Unlike short-term inmates, those serving extended sentences have time to reflect, learn, and potentially change their behaviors. Sullivan offers a variety of educational, vocational, and therapeutic programs aimed at personal development. These programs serve multiple purposes. They occupy inmates' time constructively, equip them with skills that may help in eventual reintegration, and provide structured opportunities to demonstrate good behavior. For long-term inmates, participation in these programs can also help improve their classification levels within the facility, which may result in slightly less restrictive housing or greater privileges. Mental health management is another critical aspect of housing long-term inmates. Prolonged incarceration can contribute to feelings of isolation, anxiety, and depression. At Sullivan, mental health professionals work alongside correctional staff to identify inmates who may require additional support. Counseling, therapy, and group sessions are provided to help inmates manage their emotions, cope with stress, and address underlying behavioral issues. This mental health support is particularly crucial in a maximum security setting, where tensions can escalate quickly and have serious consequences. Another significant challenge in managing long-term inmates is the potential for institutionalization, the phenomenon where individuals adapt to life inside prison to the extent that normal outside life becomes difficult to imagine or manage. Sullivan Correctional Facility mitigates this risk by providing structured programs that simulate responsibility, social interaction, and skill development. Work assignments within the facility, such as kitchen duties, maintenance, or library work, allow inmates to take responsibility and contribute positively to the prison community. These opportunities reinforce routine, accountability, and personal discipline, which are essential for long-term management. Housing long-term inmates also requires attention to safety and interpersonal dynamics. Inmates serving long sentences may have entrenched relationships, rivalries, or gang affiliations that can create tension. Sullivan's staff carefully monitor inmate interactions, separating individuals when necessary and intervening promptly in conflicts. This proactive management is essential to maintaining order and preventing incidents that could escalate into violence. Additionally, long-term inmates often have more experience with the prison system, which means staff must remain vigilant, adaptive, and strategically aware to anticipate and address potential security risks. The facility also emphasizes the importance of preparing inmates for eventual reintegration, even for those with long sentences. While some inmates may spend decades inside, rehabilitation and self-improvement remain central to the facility's philosophy. Programs focused on education, literacy, vocational skills, and life management aim to provide inmates with tools for a meaningful life, either inside the prison system or for those with eventual parole eligibility in society. This dual focus on security and rehabilitation reflects the facility's comprehensive approach to long-term incarceration. Finally, housing long-term inmates at Sullivan Correctional Facility illustrates the broader responsibilities of the criminal justice system. It is not simply about containing individuals for decades. It is about managing behavior, supporting mental and emotional health, and creating a structured environment where even high-risk inmates can have opportunities for personal development. By focusing on long-term stability, education, and rehabilitation alongside rigorous security measures, Sullivan effectively addresses the complex needs of inmates serving extended sentences, ensuring safety, order, and the possibility of transformation within a challenging environment. A defining characteristic of Sullivan Correctional Facility is its responsibility for housing and managing violent offenders, individuals who have committed serious crimes such as assault, murder, or other forms of extreme violence. Managing such inmates requires a combination of advanced security measures, behavioral expertise, and strategic planning. These offenders are among the most challenging populations within the correctional system because their behavior can pose immediate threats to staff, fellow inmates, and the overall stability of the facility. The first step in managing violent offenders is risk assessment and classification. Upon entry, inmates undergo a thorough evaluation to determine the level of threat they may pose. This evaluation considers the severity of their offenses, past behavior in custody, gang affiliations, psychological profiles, and other factors that influence their potential for violence. Based on this assessment, inmates are assigned to appropriate housing units, security levels, and supervision strategies. High-risk individuals may be placed in more restrictive housing with limited interaction with the general population, while those deemed lower risk may have access to carefully supervised programs. This dynamic classification system ensures that resources and security measures are allocated effectively. Behavioral management is another essential component of working with violent offenders. Staff at Sullivan Correctional Facility are trained extensively in techniques to de-escalate tense situations, recognize early warning signs of aggression, and intervene before conflicts escalate into physical altercations. Officers are skilled in communication, negotiation, and conflict resolution, all while maintaining the authority necessary to enforce rules and maintain control. This training is critical because even minor lapses in judgment can lead to serious incidents in a maximum security environment. The facility also employs structured routines and controlled movement to reduce opportunities for violence. Violent offenders are often escorted when moving between areas of the prison, and interactions with other inmates are carefully monitored. By controlling the timing, location, and conditions of inmate movement, the facility minimizes the risk of confrontations, spontaneous fights, or coordinated attempts to disrupt order. Recreation, meals, and programs are scheduled with precision, creating a predictable environment that reduces stress and tension among violent offenders. Security technology and infrastructure play a pivotal role in managing violent offenders. Surveillance cameras, secure cell designs, reinforced barriers, and alarm systems allow staff to monitor behavior continuously and respond quickly to incidents. In addition, physical separation of high-risk individuals prevents conflicts and ensures the safety of other inmates and staff. This technological framework, combined with human vigilance, creates multiple layers of security essential for handling a population prone to aggression. Another important aspect is psychological and rehabilitative support. Many violent offenders have underlying mental health issues, trauma histories, or behavioral disorders that contribute to their actions. Sullivan Correctional Facility offers counseling, therapy, and behavioral programs designed to help inmates understand the causes of their aggression, develop coping strategies, and reduce recidivist tendencies. These interventions do not compromise security. Rather, they complement it by addressing the root causes of violent behavior, making management more effective in the long term. Staff collaboration and communication are also crucial. Managing violent offenders requires a coordinated approach involving correctional officers, medical personnel, counselors, and administrators. Regular briefings, incident reporting, and collaborative planning ensure that all staff members are aware of potential risks and prepared to act promptly. This teamwork fosters a controlled and responsive environment where violent behavior can be contained without compromising the safety of the facility. Finally, managing violent offenders at Sullivan Correctional Facility reflects a broader philosophy of balancing security with opportunities for change. While safety is the top priority, the facility also recognizes that rehabilitation and structured programs can positively influence behavior, even among violent individuals. By combining strict security protocols, proactive behavioral management, and targeted interventions, Sullivan is able to maintain order and safety while providing inmates with a framework for personal growth and accountability. While Sullivan Correctional Facility is primarily known for its maximum security measures and housing of violent and long-term inmates, it also emphasizes the importance of rehabilitation and education programs. These programs are central to the facility's mission, reflecting the understanding that even inmates serving lengthy or high-risk sentences can benefit from structured opportunities for personal growth, skill development, and behavioral improvement. Rehabilitation in a maximum security setting is particularly challenging, but Sullivan recognizes that providing these opportunities contributes to both institutional safety and the long-term prospects of its inmates. One of the key components of rehabilitation at Sullivan is educational programming. Inmates have access to classes designed to improve literacy, numeracy, and general knowledge, which may include high school equivalency programs, GED preparation, and even post-secondary courses in some cases. These programs not only occupy inmates' time constructively but also help them develop critical thinking skills and a sense of accomplishment. Education has been shown to reduce recidivism, and even within a maximum security context, it fosters a more stable and focused inmate population, helping to reduce tension and conflict within the facility. Vocational training is another major element of Sullivan's rehabilitative efforts. Inmates can learn trades such as carpentry, plumbing, electrical work, and culinary skills, among others. These programs serve multiple purposes. First, they provide inmates with practical skills that can improve their employability if they are eventually released. Second, vocational training instills discipline, responsibility, and teamwork, qualities that are essential for personal development and for maintaining order within the prison. For long-term inmates, vocational programs offer a meaningful way to spend their time while preparing for life beyond the facility, even if release is many years away. Behavioral and counseling programs are also integral to rehabilitation. Inmates at Sullivan have access to therapy sessions, anger management courses, substance abuse programs, and mental health counseling. These interventions target the root causes of criminal behavior, helping individuals understand their actions, develop coping strategies, and reduce tendencies toward aggression. Particularly for violent offenders, behavioral programs are crucial in creating a safer environment for both staff and other inmates. The facility's approach is proactive. By addressing the psychological and emotional needs of inmates, the likelihood of violent incidents is reduced. Structured recreational and creative programs also play a role in rehabilitation. Activities such as physical fitness, art, music, and writing provide inmates with outlets for stress and frustration, as well as opportunities for self-expression. These programs can be particularly effective for long-term inmates, offering both a sense of purpose and a way to channel energy constructively. Recreation and creative expression contribute to mental well-being, reducing the likelihood of tension or conflict arising from boredom or frustration. The facility carefully integrates rehabilitation with security considerations. Unlike lower security prisons, programs at Sullivan operate under strict supervision. Inmates are carefully monitored during educational classes, vocational training, and recreational activities to ensure that interactions remain safe and productive. Even in these rehabilitative settings, the facility maintains strict control over movements, communications, and access, balancing the goal of personal development with the uncompromising need for security. Moreover, Sullivan emphasizes the importance of accountability and personal responsibility within these programs. Inmates are expected to engage actively, follow rules, and demonstrate consistent effort. Participation in education, vocational training, and counseling is often tied to classification reviews, privileges, and opportunities for slightly less restrictive housing within the facility. This creates an environment where rehabilitation is not simply a passive activity but a structured pathway toward personal improvement, behavioral growth, and potential reintegration into society. Finally, the rehabilitation and education programs at Sullivan Correctional Facility reflect a broader philosophy. Even in the most secure and high-risk environments, positive change is possible. By providing inmates with knowledge, skills, emotional support, and structured outlets for expression, the facility promotes personal growth while simultaneously enhancing overall safety. These programs are not just about preparing inmates for eventual release. They are also about creating a more orderly, manageable, and humane environment within the prison walls. Rehabilitation and education, therefore, are integral to the mission of Sullivan, demonstrating that even maximum security facilities can foster opportunities for transformation and hope, alongside the essential goal of public safety. At the heart of Sullivan Correctional Facility's ability to safely manage long-term and violent inmates is its highly trained and experienced staff. The effectiveness of a maximum security prison depends not only on walls, fences, and technology, but fundamentally on the skill, judgment, and professionalism of the individuals who operate within it. Correctional officers, administrators, medical personnel, and counselors all play essential roles, and their training is rigorous, continuous, and multifaceted to meet the unique challenges of working in a high-risk environment. One of the primary focuses of staff training at Sullivan is security and safety protocols. Correctional officers are taught to maintain vigilance at all times, recognize potential threats, and respond decisively to incidents. They learn how to conduct cell searches, monitor inmate movements, supervise high-risk areas, and detect early warning signs of conflicts or disruptions. Officers also practice crisis response drills, including interventions for fights, escape attempts, or medical emergencies. This extensive preparation ensures that staff can act swiftly to protect themselves, fellow officers, and inmates, maintaining order even under the most challenging circumstances. In addition to technical security skills, Sullivan emphasizes behavioral and psychological training. Officers are trained to understand the motivations and triggers of violent or disruptive behavior. They learn de-escalation techniques, conflict resolution strategies, and communication skills that allow them to interact effectively with inmates without exacerbating tension. For example, recognizing early warning signs of aggression or emotional distress can prevent violent incidents before they occur. Staff also receive training in mental health awareness, understanding how issues such as trauma, substance abuse, or psychological disorders can influence inmate behavior. This knowledge allows staff to respond appropriately, balancing firmness with empathy and professional judgment. Specialized training for long-term and high-risk inmates is another critical component. Inmates serving extended sentences or classified as highly violent may develop sophisticated tactics to challenge authority, exploit weaknesses, or manipulate situations. Sullivan staff are prepared to anticipate such behaviors, maintain consistent enforcement of rules, and implement strategies to manage complex interpersonal dynamics. This level of expertise ensures that staff are not simply reactive but proactive, able to prevent incidents before they escalate. Staff also participate in ongoing professional development. Correctional environments are dynamic and protocols, technologies, and strategies evolve over time. Officers at Sullivan engage in continuous education, workshops, and simulations to stay current with best practices in security, crisis management, and rehabilitation. Medical personnel, counselors, and administrators similarly update their knowledge to address emerging challenges in inmate care, mental health, and behavioral management. This ongoing development fosters a highly competent, adaptable, and confident workforce capable of meeting the demands of maximum security incarceration. Teamwork and coordination are integral to staff effectiveness. Managing a population of violent, long-term inmates requires collaboration across multiple roles and departments. Officers, supervisors, healthcare providers, and counselors must communicate clearly, share intelligence about potential risks, and coordinate responses to incidents. Daily briefings, incident reports, and structured communication channels ensure that staff operate as a cohesive unit, minimizing errors and maintaining a controlled environment. This collaboration amplifies the effectiveness of individual staff members and strengthens overall institutional safety. Another key aspect of staff expertise is the ability to balance authority with fairness and professionalism. In a high-security environment, staff must enforce rules decisively but without unnecessary provocation. Fair and consistent treatment fosters respect and compliance among inmates, reducing tensions and enhancing order. Officers are trained to exercise discretion, apply disciplinary measures appropriately, and recognize when intervention or support is needed, creating a safe yet humane environment. Finally, the staff at Sullivan Correctional Facility embody the institution's broader mission, maintaining security while supporting the potential for rehabilitation. Through rigorous training, continuous development, and a deep understanding of human behavior, the staff are equipped to manage complex challenges, protect public safety, and foster an environment where even high-risk inmates can participate in educational, vocational, and behavioral programs. Their expertise is the cornerstone of the facility's success, demonstrating that well-prepared personnel are just as critical to prison safety as the walls and security systems that surround them. An essential element of Sullivan Correctional Facility's effectiveness is its comprehensive security infrastructure, which is designed to maintain control over some of New York State's most challenging inmates. While highly trained staff are critical to safety, the facility's physical and technological systems provide the backbone for maximum security operations. These measures ensure that inmates are securely contained, risks are minimized, and the facility operates efficiently in a highly controlled environment. The physical design of the prison is the first line of defense. Sullivan features reinforced concrete walls, secure perimeters with multiple layers of fencing, and strategically designed cell blocks to separate high-risk inmates. The architecture itself is built to prevent escape, limit movement, and control interactions among inmates. Each area of the prison is carefully planned, with secure corridors, controlled access points, and observation areas that allow staff to monitor activities constantly. The facility's layout reduces blind spots, limits the potential for conflicts, and allows for rapid response in emergencies. Electronic security systems further enhance the facility's ability to monitor inmates. Sullivan is equipped with surveillance cameras covering nearly every section of the prison, motion detectors, electronically controlled doors, and alarms that alert staff to unusual activity. These systems allow officers to observe behavior in real time, identify potential threats, and respond quickly. Technology also supports the controlled movement of inmates, ensuring that they can only access designated areas under supervision, which is particularly important for managing long-term and violent offenders. The prison also employs secure housing units that are specifically designed to contain high-risk inmates. Cells are reinforced, often with limited openings, and are equipped with security features that prevent tampering or escape. Inmates are housed based on classification, ensuring that the most dangerous individuals are kept in areas with heightened security measures. This separation not only protects staff but also reduces the likelihood of inmate-on-inmate violence, helping to maintain overall order within the facility. Another critical component of Sullivan's security infrastructure is controlled movement and activity scheduling. Inmates move through the facility under strict supervision, often escorted by multiple officers. Access to recreational areas, vocational programs, medical care, and visitation is carefully timed and monitored. This level of control ensures that inmates cannot congregate unsupervised, minimizing the risk of fights, gang activity, or attempts to manipulate the system. Structured movement, combined with technological monitoring, creates an environment where even the most unpredictable individuals can be managed safely. Perimeter security is equally robust. Sullivan's fences and barriers are often augmented by motion sensors, guard towers, and lighting systems that detect unauthorized movement. The perimeter acts as a final line of defense, ensuring that the facility remains secure not only internally but also against outside threats or escape attempts. Regular inspections, drills, and maintenance of these systems ensure they function reliably at all times. Emergency preparedness and response infrastructure is also integral to the facility's security. Sullivan has protocols and systems in place to handle medical emergencies, fires, disturbances, or riots. Staff are trained to use these systems effectively, and the facility is equipped with emergency alarms, lockdown mechanisms, and rapid response teams. This preparedness ensures that even unexpected incidents can be contained quickly and safely. Finally, Sullivan Correctional Facility's security infrastructure reflects a broader philosophy. It is designed to support staff, protect inmates, and maintain public safety simultaneously. By integrating physical barriers, electronic monitoring, controlled movement, and emergency preparedness, the facility creates a secure environment where long-term and violent inmates can be managed effectively. This infrastructure does more than prevent escapes. It allows for safe rehabilitation programs, controlled daily routines, and orderly interaction within a maximum security environment. In combination with highly trained staff and structured procedures, the security infrastructure is a cornerstone of the facility's overall success in maintaining order, safety, and stability. Sullivan Correctional Facility holds a critical role within New York State's criminal justice system, serving as a secure institution for long-term and violent offenders while contributing to broader goals of public safety, rehabilitation, and orderly corrections. Its existence underscores the complex responsibilities of the state in balancing punishment, deterrence, and opportunities for personal growth, particularly when dealing with the most challenging individuals in the penal system. At its core, Sullivan serves as a containment facility for high-risk offenders. By securely housing individuals who have committed serious or violent crimes, the prison ensures that these offenders are removed from society, thereby protecting the public from potential harm. This role is fundamental to the criminal justice system, as it allows courts to impose long-term sentences knowing that the state has the resources and structures to manage those individuals safely. The facility's strict security measures, advanced monitoring systems, and highly trained staff work together to fulfill this primary mandate of public protection. Beyond containment, Sullivan plays an important role in rehabilitation and behavior management within the criminal justice framework. Even for long-term and violent offenders, the state recognizes the importance of providing structured opportunities for education, vocational training, therapy, and behavioral programs. These initiatives aim to reduce recidivism, address the underlying causes of criminal behavior, and promote accountability. By offering inmates a chance to improve themselves, Sullivan contributes to the system's broader objective of preparing individuals, wherever possible, for a safer reentry into society or a more constructive life within the facility itself. Sullivan also functions as a model for the integration of security and rehabilitation. Maximum security institutions are often perceived solely as punitive, but Sullivan demonstrates that even in environments housing violent offenders, programs can be implemented to promote personal growth. This approach aligns with modern criminal justice principles, which recognize that punishment alone is insufficient for long-term societal safety. By balancing strict security with rehabilitative programs, the facility supports both immediate safety and long-term behavioral improvement, reflecting a holistic approach to corrections. The facility's role extends to supporting the judiciary and parole systems. By maintaining accurate records, monitoring inmate behavior, and providing evaluations for classification and rehabilitation progress, Sullivan assists courts and parole boards in making informed decisions regarding sentencing, classification, and potential release. The facility's data and observations regarding inmate conduct, participation in programs, and behavioral changes serve as critical inputs into decisions that affect both the individual inmate and public safety. Additionally, Sullivan Correctional Facility contributes to research and policy development in the field of corrections. As a maximum security institution with a diverse and high-risk inmate population, it provides insights into best practices for managing violent offenders, addressing mental health needs, implementing security technology, and designing rehabilitation programs. Policymakers, criminal justice professionals, and researchers often study such facilities to improve prison management strategies, enhance security protocols, and develop programs that reduce recidivism and improve outcomes for inmates. Sullivan also emphasizes the ethical responsibility of corrections. In managing some of the state's most dangerous individuals, the facility demonstrates that strict security does not preclude humane treatment, mental health support, and opportunities for personal development. The prison's operations exemplify the principle that even high-risk inmates deserve safety, dignity, and the potential for improvement. This philosophy strengthens the integrity of the criminal justice system by ensuring that public protection and ethical responsibility are pursued simultaneously. Finally, Sullivan Correctional Facility embodies a critical intersection of public safety, rehabilitation, and institutional management. It represents how the criminal justice system can handle complex, high-risk populations effectively while striving to maintain humane conditions and opportunities for personal growth. By managing long-term and violent inmates with professionalism, advanced infrastructure, and comprehensive programs, Sullivan contributes directly to the stability and credibility of the broader justice system, ensuring that society is protected while promoting the potential for transformation wherever possible.